At Twinkling High, as 6:57 p.m., Bryan hit his fist on a nearby wall, almost hurting a lady who was leaning on the wall, and of course it was Nina. "Bryan, calm down." Nina touched his shoulders, but Bryan snapped her hands away from him. "We've found something. Samantha has been kidnapped," Andy said. And Bryan followed them immediately, but Nina wasn't ready to give up, so she ran after him. "In this camera here, she was kidnapped in the locker room and was thrown into a bag," Adrien muttered, and Bryan ruffled his hair impatiently. "Oh, let him get the person that did this. The person won't be alive to tell the story." "Wait, is it not that Jack guy?" Jeremy asked, and Andy nodded. "Zack, he was the one that kidnapped Samantha." "Oh no," Andy added with a frown. "I overheard Nina's accomplice saying that Zack is Nina's cousin," Adrien said, arching an eyebrow. "Birds of the same feather flock together. Then we need to find Nina. Only she knows where Zack is," Bryan said, and walked away. Bryan stopped at the hallway Nina was standing. She wasn't there. Bryan clenched his fist and turned to leave, but it was like his lips jammed something. He quickly pushed the person and gave the person a punch in anger. Did he just kiss someone by accident? "Bryan!" Bryan looked down, and behold, it was Nina he punched. She was sitting on the floor with little tears in her eyes, but her cheeks were a dark shade of purple. Damn. He is not a woman-beater, but she caused it. "How dare you!" "You lucky I didn't add pressure to the punch," Bryan said, and Andy came in. "Where is Samantha David?" Andy asked, glaring at her. "I don't know what you're talking about," Nina said, and that got Bryan angry, but he held himself remembering she was a girl. "This is what some people call an electrocutor. I don't want to use it on you, so tell us," Adrien muttered, coming in with a hot soldering iron. "This is a false accusation," Nina yelled, and Bryan couldn't hold it any longer. He gave her a tight slap that got her coughing out a small amount of blood. Jeremy came in with a white container. "Do you know what this is?" Jeremy asked, placing the container in front of her. Nina knew that she can't run because of the way the circled her, and there were guards in the exit. The white container was filled with acid, and Nina bit her lower lips. If a drop of that acid touched her flawless face, she would kill herself because it was hard putting plastic surgery on them. "I would tell you!" Nina yelled, and Jeremy raised his head proudly. "See, I got the idea." "You're coming with us," Bryan said, glaring at her, and she gulped. "Dun!" She was thinking of giving them the wrong direction and running away. But Bryan is damn smart. "Show me the pictures." Then the servant handed the pictures to the man who examined the picture. It was a picture of Nina kissing Bryan, but it looks like Bryan was the one that took the lead. "Good. Post it on all social media." "Okay, sir." In a dark room, Samantha struggled as she was tied upside down, and she could feel her head getting hot. Of course, by now, all her blood has traveled to her head, making it look red. "Save me! Someone help!" Samantha said as tears rolled down her eyes. She wasn't crying because they kidnapped her, but because in the worst way, they tied her. "Shh, baby, why are you crying, huh?" Samantha's eyes widened immediately. She saw Zack. She knew it was him, even though she was upside down. "You evil man! Put me down!" Samantha yelled, but that was a bad idea because her head began to hurt her even more. "No, baby. If you yell at me again, I would open the cage and the snakes will bite you," Zack said. And that's when Samantha heard a snake sound. She stretched her neck to look up, only to see a cage filled with snakes tied to the rope used to tie her. No please, sorry." Samantha gasped as she struggled, swinging back and front, trying to get the rope off her so that she could run, but of course is impossible. "Looks like you hate snakes. Well, they are my pets," Zack smirked, holding a button. "If I press a little, Pip and the snakes will bite you and then you die. When you die, Nina will replace you in Bryan's life," Zack added and laughed evilly. Seeing Samantha cry makes him to be so happy. "The button is here. I give you 24 hours. 24 hours for either your boyfriend to get you out of here or escape by yourself. If not, I would press the button." Zack smirked and dropped the key on an old table before leaving. "Wait, please get this thing away," Samantha yelled as one of the snake's tail went past the small rectangular hole in the cage, but the head refused to go past it. No, God, please save me, Samantha prayed silently as the hissing of the snakes continued. Samantha eventually gave up waiting for the snake to come out and bite her. But when she looked down, her eyes widened. Zack is more evil than the villains in the movie she watched sometimes. He actually placed a lot of nails and bottles on the floor that Samantha can't escape without getting injured. And if she manages to match them, she wouldn't go too far because of her injured leg. It was all Zack's plot. Then something wet dropped at Samantha's cheeks. She looked up. It was the snake's venom. Oh no. She prayed it wouldn't drop inside her mouth next time.